Okay, amazing. So this week's Parashat Vayechi Yaakov, and it's very important Parashat because in this week's Parashat, Yaakov gives the brachot to his sons, the Shvati, to Ephraim and Menashe. We're going to talk about all the details how it went, because it's a very interesting way that Yaakov gave the brachot. Because first of all, what happened? Yaakov gives the brachot to who?
Yosef.
No, does not give the not to Yosef. He blesses him, yes, but out of all the Shvatim, because he blesses Yosef after together. He says Ben Porat Yosef, Ben Porat Aliyai.
Yehuda.
But he gives the brachot first to Ephraim and Menashe. So it's interesting. These are the sons
No,
of
but
Yosef.
first he blessed Yosef. Then Yosef came with 2 kids, and he's like Mi'aele.
Yes.
So he didn't even know who they
But the
were.
actual brachot of like Birkat Yaakov that we call them, that he give them to he blessed the brothers, and those brachot, what? Ça c'est après. So this is after the real brachot, which we're going to explain what the nature of these brachot are, because usually brachot is like, que tu auras la parnassa, que tu auras le shefa, et tout ça. It's like to have bracha, but if you see the brachot, it doesn't really look like that. You're going to see. We're going to read the psukim a bit. You're going to see. Yaakov's not really giving them brachot. It sounds like, but maybe that's what bracha is. We're going to speak about this. Okay. So the point is that the first thing that he does is that he blesses the sons of Yosef. The sons of Yosef, Ephraim and Menashe, he blesses them. That's who he's blessing. And then, once he's done blessing Ephraim and Menashe, he goes and blesses the rest of the brothers. Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zebulun. Okay, the rest. Now, I want to zoom in a bit on what happened with the brachot that were given to Ephraim and Menashe. Ephraim and Menashe, first of all, who's the bechor? Menashe and Ephraim. Who was the first born was Menashe, and then it was Ephraim. So it's very interesting that we all know the story. Yaakov, when he blesses the sons of Yosef, what does he do? Changes his hands. Yosef comes, he brings his 2 brothers, his 2 sons, he brings Menashe to Yosef's left, Ephraim to Yosef's right, and the opposite. Ephraim and Menashe to the right, to the left of him. Ephraim to the right, and in order that Yaakov, which is on the other side, he's going to bless to the right. The opposite, right? So the right is Menashe. That's going to be his right hand, and the left is going to be on the head of Ephraim because he's the younger one. But we all know the story that Yaakov, what does he do? He changes his hands. Why? Yosef gets a little bit, what's going on? He starts to take off the hand from his father, his father's hand from Ephraim. Menashe is the bechor. Put your right hand on Menashe. So we have to just understand what was Yaakov thinking, and what's the point? What's who cares? So he put the right hand on Menashe. So what? So Menashe has the right hand on his. So Ephraim has the right hand. At the end of the day, what's the difference? Why did Yaakov see that it was important that he should put specifically the right hand? Because we know the right hand is the hand of it's the more important hand. It's the superior hand. The left hand is not. So therefore, Yaakov is making a statement. Because he says to Yosef, Yadati b'ni yadati. My son, I know, don't worry. That he's going to be, Menashe is going to be great. However, he's going to be greater. Ephraim is going to be greater. So therefore, he needs the brachot. It's very interesting because the way that the brachot are given, in general, we spoke about this when it came to Avraham Avinu, that the brachot, it says the Sifte Chaim, the brachot, that what's the inyan of the bracha? The inyan of the bracha, in general, the inyan of the bracha is that Hashem tells Avraham Avinu, v'nivrechu becha kol mishperot ha'adama. All the v'yeh bracha. He says that all the all the brachot are going to be in you. Going to be through you. All the brachot of all the rest of the nations are going to be through you. Which is what to mean what? So he explained over there that the reason why there's bracha in the world by the goyim, and the reason why Microsoft is able to make computers and Apple is able to make the iPhone, is in order for us to be able to film the shiurim and put them on YouTube. That's the reason. And for people to see them on YouTube in their house. So that's why there was Microsoft. In other words, the only reason why there is the bracha in the world is in order for Yaakov, in order for the ikar of the Bria, which is Avraham Avinu at the time, The rest of the world is going to be nidbarech, is going to have the bracha for who? For Avraham. And whoever continues the derech, whoever continues the ways of Avraham, which is eventually Yitzchak, Yaakov, and 12 Shvatim, and we come from 12 Shvatim, Bnei Israel, we call Yaakov was also Israel, Bnei Israel. So you see that the inyan of the bracha is in order that the Bnei Israel, or the Ben, the continuation of the Ikar, the main point of the creation, the bracha is there for that person. The bracha is there for that nation, for people that are making Hashem's will. Why? Because up until Avraham Avinu, we explained last time, up until Avraham Avinu, there was no one that was continuing to do the Tikkun of Adam HaRishon. There was Adam, and there was no one from Adam until Avraham Avinu that Hashem saw fit. Not even Noach. Noach had to save the world. Avraham had to make the world a purpose. It's different to save, to go from 0 to 1, and from -1 to 0, and 0 to 1 is something else. Noach saved. He went from -1, it wasn't going to be destroyed. He put it to 0, and Avraham took it from 0, he put it to 1, meaning he made it something. He made a purpose out of the world. So Avraham Avinu was the one that showed himself that he was capable of taking this job of being Mekadesh Shem Shamayim in this world. And that was the point of creation. And that's why Hashem said, Avraham Avinu, you're ready to make my name great? Okay, so whatever you want, here, bracha, everything's yours. No matter whatever you say, Avraham, that person's going to become rich. Whatever you say, it's up to you. You have the tachlit, you represent me in the world, you have the koach to give the bracha, and he's going to succeed. Tzaddik, gozer HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekayem. That's was Avraham Avinu. And he gave that power of giving the bracha to someone, to Yitzchak his son. He didn't give it to her actually. The way Avraham Avinu, the problem with Avraham Avinu, he says the Sifter Chaim, he explains in this week's parasha, he says that Avraham Avinu was not able to bless Yitzchak. Why? Because he said, I'm all chesed. Avraham Avinu is all chesed. I'm going to give the bracha to Yitzchak, but out of Yitzchak is going to come Esav. If I give the power to Yitzchak, and then it could be that at the end of the day, Yitzchak is going to give it to Esav, and it's going to be crazy because Esav was the Rasha. Imagine the Rasha with the koach of bracha. You know how many Microsofts they can make with that? It's going to be crazy, and plus it's not going to be. But this power was given to man. It was entrusted in man. That's how great this power is. And Avraham Avinu was afraid to bless his son. He says, Avraham says at the end of his life, HaKadosh Baruch Hu take the bracha, you give it to whoever's worthy. And Avraham and Hashem blessed Yitzchak, it says in the pasuk. And then when it came to Yitzchak, Yitzchak wanted to give it to Esav. Why did Yitzchak want to give it to Esav? Because Esav was the Bechor. Esav was the firstborn. So therefore, Yitzchak said, okay, I'm going to give it to Esav. What was his calculation? Yaakov, he's already a tzaddik. If I give the bracha to Yaakov, what he's going to gain? He's going to, with his own avodah, Yaakov with his own koach, his own strength of connecting with Hashem, he's going to be able to attain the brachot. He's going to be able to attain whatever he needs. But Esav, he needs help. Let's give him. Let's make it easier for him. Let's give him some money. Maybe through Hashem's going to listen to him. Through the fact that he has the bracha, he's going to be able to be mitchazek, and he's going to be able to do teshuvah. However, Hashem was not maskim, and what happened? It had to be that Rivka, his wife, Yitzchak had to make the whole kombina, had to take Yaakov, and say, Yaakov, okay, that's it. Yitzchak is going to give the bracha to Esav, you have to go. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu had decided that the bracha has to go to Yaakov. However, the way Yitzchak thought it had to be to the Bechor. When it came to Yaakov Avinu now he has the koach of bracha. When it came to Yaakov Avinu was the koach ha'emet. Koach ha'emet, the midat ha'emet, what's the midah of emet? We're going to talk about this point. The midah of emet is able to be completely madim, completely one with Hashem. Meaning that you know the Ratzon Hashem up until the point where your physical and your spiritual are both serving Hashem, up until the point that you are fully in sync. Whatever Hashem decides, that's what you do. You're just playing with it. That Hashem is basically using you. You are completely in the hands of Hashem. That's how holy he is. And Yaakov Avinu, he knew, it says when he sikel et yadav, when he was fighting, when Hashem came over to him, sikel et yadav, he changed his hands. It says in the Talmud, in Ukules on the side, I don't know if you know what it is, we'll speak about it another time. But over there, he explains, "Itcha kemoi yadoi," meaning his hands were intelligent. Up until the point that his hands were the one that showed Yaakov what to do, to change position. Why? Because the importance of putting your hand when you're doing a bracha is that you have to channel your energy, your inner energy, towards the person you're giving the bracha, and that's how the bracha works. The way the bracha is going to work with Yaakov Avinu is that through the dveikut that he has with the person he's giving the bracha to, that's how as much as that happens, that's how much the bracha is going to work. That's why it says when Menashe and Ephraim came over to him, when Yosef brought them, it says that he kissed them and he hugged them. What was the point of kissing them and hugging them? Was to show that he wanted to be close with them. To show that he was building a closeness, a relationship right before the bracha, in order for the bracha to work completely, because that's how the bracha works. And when Yaakov Avinu put his hand on Menashe and Ephraim, he changed his hands. Putting the right hand channels your energy inside, subconsciously, or at least the nefesh. The way it works is that when you put your right hand on something, there's more koach from you going into that person, and therefore your dveikut goes more into that person. Now Ephraim, he needed the bracha more because Ephraim was going to have a bigger tafkid. There's going to be Yoshua Binu coming from him, and there's going to be bigger tzaddikim coming from Ephraim, and therefore he needed the bracha in order to have what he needs in order to accomplish his tafkid, and that was the point. But it was not a point to say that somebody's greater than the other. When it comes to these things, it seems like we were saying, oh, he's better than me, he has 10 points, I have 5 points. That's not what's going on. What's going on is that each one has their tafkid, each one has their purpose, and his purpose is just something else, and therefore he needs something else. That's what he was saying. That's what Yaakov Avinu was saying. Now it's important because we see from here that Yaakov Avinu, he sees things me'al ha'teva. Yaakov Avinu sees things above the nature. He's coming. There is the bracha that he has to give to Ephraim and Menashe. Normally you put your hand on the bechor. His hands do it for him. His hands, the koach ha'emet, the koach, the fact that he's so connected with Hashem, that Hashem decides at this point who Yaakov is going to give the bracha to. It does it for him. His hands change for him. That was the key. And in order for Yaakov to give more bracha to Ephraim. Now when we come to see the brachot that Hashem gives, the brachot that Yaakov gives to the rest of the Shvatim, what happens? It says, Yaakov says to his sons, come closer. And then what happens? It says, Yasifu. First it says, Yasifu, it says, come close, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen at the end of the days. I'm going to tell you what's happening in Yimot HaMashiach. And what happened? We all know the story. He left him. And then it says, come closer. And what did it mean to say? Why twice? To show maybe there's something wrong. Maybe there's not shlemut between the brothers. What does that mean? And then he goes on to bless them. And he goes on to bless them and he says, by Reuven pachaz kamayim al totav, ki alita al mishkeve avicha, ve'az chilat al yitzue avicha. He says to Reuven, not a bracha, it doesn't sound like a bracha. What does it sound like? It sounds like he's telling him, you know what Reuven did, by the way? Just a little introduction. Reuven, when Rachel Imenu died, so Yaakov took the bed of the midwife, took the bed of Leah and put it inside the tent of Yaakov.
Il a mis sa tente dans.
Reuven took it.
Son lit dans le oreille de
Reuven.
Bila? De Léa.
Lui, Yaakov, il a fait avec Léa.
Okay, so Yaakov, after
Il a fait avec Bila et Reuven, il a amené à Léa.
Oui, exactly. So what happened is that Yaakov, after Rachel died, so we know that Rachel had like a wife, like another woman that was, like, she didn't have a wife. She had like a maid servant that came with her that Yaakov also married. Her name was like Zilpa, Bila. And Leah also had a maid servant that her name was Zilpa. And there were two They were the two wives that came from the rest of the Shvat. Right, and they were half sisters. Okay. Now, when Rachel Imenu died, what did Yaakov do? He took his bed and he put it inside the tent of Bila, which was Rachel's maid servant. And what did Reuven do? He took the baby of Yaakov and he put it in the tent of who? Leah, his mother. It says Leah at least should be second in place. Why should it be Bila, the mitzvah in the Rachel? She's technically less important. But Reuven decided, no, I think better. I think that instead of going to the third most important person, should go to the second most important person, which is Leah. So for that, Yaakov Avinu said, no, that was no good. You have to fix that. You have to fix that. But what did he tell him? What do you think, Reuven? I'm asking you a question. You guys can all answer whenever you want. What do you think Reuven's mistake was? If you understood the story, what do you think?
He got involved with his father's affairs.
Got involved with his father's affairs. Anybody else?
Like it's none of his business, you know?
None of his business. Anybody else?
He didn't ask before.
Didn't ask before doing it? Should have asked?
He underestimated Yaakov's wiseness, you know?
That's something else already. He got involved. He underestimated. He should have asked. Anybody else? What do you think Reuven's mistake was? I'm not trying to ask you because I want to tell you what Yaakov Avinu's mistake was, as opposed to what we might think. Because you might think, wait, it's jealousy. Reuven said, wait, my mother, she's Leah. She's
like,
second
know your place.
And you took, instead, I know better. What do you mean? I know better.
Like,
you can say Havot, you can say jealousy,
he
you
needs
can
to
say
know,
God, you can say a bunch of things. What did Yaakov Avinu say? Rabotai, listen to this. What did Yaakov Avinu say? He said, Pachaz kamayim al totav, which means you were too fast to think like water. The same way that water, when you put two drops of water next to each other, what happens? Boom, there goes. You look at the water, are you going to think about it before you do it? No, doesn't think, it just does it. It's like magnetic. That's what it says, Pachaz kamayim. You were impulsive like water. Which means that water, the same way it just goes, it doesn't have a limit, it just goes, doesn't think before it goes. So whatever the next thing that's what water particles are, they connect with each other and you just go. So whatever next water sees, it goes. So too, Reuven, he didn't think before he acted. You're going to tell me, oh no, he went instead of his father, he went ahead and changed his father's destiny, whatever you want to say. All the things that we might think, Yaakov Avinu said one thing. And if we were to judge Reuven, we'd probably put him in jail, we'd probably, kill him. I don't know what we would do to him. But Yaakov, no, guys, you don't understand. The mistake is something else. The mistake is just that he didn't think. He did an action without thinking enough, without being mitun, without having a little bit of patience. Stand back. That's all he did wrong. That's the koch of emet. That's the koch ha'emet. The koch of the Torah, the koch of the emet is able to be. You think you're in a problem sometimes? You think you have a certain issue? And you think that this is the fix, you think that this is your problem, you think that you have to fix this and fix that. Trust me, go to the Torah, go to someone that knows the Torah, and he'll tell you exactly what you have to fix, and that's going to be the answer. Why? He sees Me'ala Teva, he sees above the nature. You see one way, you see with your limited eyes, he sees from the eyes of the Torah. He's able to tell you exactly what way to go. And imagine, if you didn't have the bracha, if you didn't have this koach ha'emet, telling you what to do, where would you be? Probably turning in circles like a washing machine. Turning in circles, what you have to do, back and forth, and back and forth, you make the same mistakes, you get to the same place, you fall again, and this and that. Oh no, it's this problem, it's that problem, it's this. But baby, you're so biased to yourself, you don't even know where you're going. Just stop. It's time to ask. And when you get the answer, hold on to it. You might think it's false, you might think it's this. It's coming from the emet. That's the truth. Our whole lives we're looking for the truth. The emet, the shlemut, the serenity comes from the fact that we have emet. And this is Yaakov Avinu. And when they come, you're going to tell me, oh, Yaakov Avinu is giving tochecha. Instead of giving his son, he's supposed to be the birkot, the brachot of Yaakov Avinu. Instead of giving the brachot, what's Yaakov giving them? Musar. You tell me that's the brachot?
Well,
yes.
It is a bracha on the long run.
No, so exactly, I'm going to get to this. So that's the bracha. The bracha is, when you have the answer to your problem, when you have the key to your problem, this is your bracha. There's nothing better than you can. You can have all the money in the world, you can have all the cars, everything, houses, no matter what. You can be on top of the world when it comes to gashmiut, but you're going to be the most depressed. Why? Because you don't have the truth. The truth is not with you. When Yaakov comes and says, my sons, come close, Hasifu, Yikabitzu, let's get together. You want to have shlemut? Yes, he couldn't tell them that there's going to be, when it's going to be Mashiach. You know why he didn't tell them when it's going to be Mashiach? Imagine if you knew when Mashiach was going to come. Well, we do one thing to fix ourselves. We wouldn't do not even one. We would wait for January 15th. Boom, Mashiach, let's do tshuva one day before. Yalla, are you fixing yourself? No. The biggest bracha was that Yaakov was taken away his koach to tell us the end of the world, the end of when the Mashiach was going to come. And what did he do instead? He says, no, Hashem has a different plan. Hashem has a plan that he's telling us how to get the Mashiach. How to bring the shlemut, how to bring the completion to the world, how to bring the completion through the fact, through the Bnei Yisrael coming as one, each one doing their tafkid, each one receiving their emet that they have to fix. And this is what Yaakov was doing. Yaakov was giving his sons from his interiority. He was giving them the bracha, the emet. We said that what's the bracha? When you are mashpia, when you influence from your innards, from your inner self, you give to the next. That's the emet. That's the bracha. And Yaakov was emet, and he was giving over his emet to the sons. And that's what we need. We need the bracha in order for us to fix ourselves. That's what he said to Shimon and Levi. You guys stole the kelim of Esav. You guys went to Shechem and you killed everybody under my nose. You didn't tell me about it. And he was mad. He was angry at them. He says, you guys, on him he said kas. On Shimon and Levi he said kas. And their problem was anger.
He's the cat.
He said that their problem was kaas.
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 Kaas. He's the kaas.
He's the kaas. They were the kaas. Shimon and Levi, and that's when he had to split them up. That was the fix. That Shimon and Levi, whenever they were together and they wanted to destroy everything, he had to split them away. Because there's a mifari that says that one was azut, one was anger, and one was azut, which means that you had like one was stubborn, one was anger.
One was the fire, one was the air.
Bold.
No, but the azut.
One was the fire, one was the air.
Anyway, the point is
the water.
The point is that they were put them together and they were completely. And that's why it says achalakim. I'm going to split them up. Meaning they're midot. When you split the anger of Shimon and Levi, when you split the anger and the stubbornness within achalakim ve'Yaakov ve'afisam Yisrael, I'm going to split them up in the whole Klal Yisrael. Each one, everybody in Klal Yisrael is going to have a part. And what we're going to do with that part, we're going to be stubborn. We're not going to go with the rest of the nations. And that was the fix. When you split Shimon and Levi, they didn't have a part in Eretz Yisrael. They didn't have a part. Levi was the Arimiklat. Levi was you know what's Arimiklat? When a person kills someone b'shogeg, by mistake, he has to go and save himself. The brother of the person that got killed can go after him and kill him. So Levi had to be split within all of his Eretz Yisrael. In order for what? Everybody to be mushpat, everybody to be influenced from Levi, to receive this anger from Levi, absorb it, and work together to get it out. That was the Achdut. Yaakov was telling his sons how we do Achdut. And Shimon also. Shimon didn't have a part in Israel. His part was in Yehuda. All this is in Mefarshim. I don't have the exact sources in front of me, but I did it. And it's the Kli Yagam. So he says, this was the point. The point was that Yaakov was telling them what the real bracha is. And he was giving them from himself. The real bracha is from himself. He was emet. And he giving them the hashpah, the influence, to the rest of Klal Yisrael is what's going to bring Mashiach. May we always okay.
Amen.